Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Press conference of Max Allegri before the game of tomorrow, 6 p.m. Italian time versus Fiorentina. Again, we have to win every single game, we don't have to see it as a marathon of 38 games because you don't know what will happen in that marathon, but we have to analyze it game after game, single game after single game, because the 3 points in Serie A are crucial. We have to do the maximum of points in the maximum of games that we play, because at the end of the season, we want to understand where we are. But now, all these questions doesn't matter. The most important one is to make 3 points. Continuing the beautiful win and also performance versus Salernitana in their home, doing it also in our home. Tomorrow we have nearly a certainty is that Federico Chiesa will play from the first minute next to Dusan Vlahovic. There are speculation that also Di Maria can play with them, showing us and offering for the very first time the beautiful trio that is there. We will listen to the words of Max Allegri. I have a feeling, I have no certainty, but the feeling that possibly Paul Pogba can be called up. If it's not the case, no drama, because it's normal, because he's still injured, he's recuperating from the other, not new injury, but the same injury that unfortunately is annoying him and us a lot. But I have the feeling, I don't know why, that Paul Pogba can be called up tomorrow. Let me say hello to all the people that I didn't greet yet. The press conference will start in 1 minute. Most of the time, Juventus is quite on time, even if the women are playing at the moment. Versus Fiorentina, women are winning out of home 2-0 with a fantastic, beautiful second goal of Berenstain. Sasha is there. She was the first one to say hello. SM Information, Bogdan, Muhammad, Anthony Trimboli, Ali is there, Styler Z, Zlatko, Sir, Helicopter, Andar Sofyan, ciao Andar, Radovan, Songeziwe, Kumet Eater, Elio, Null, Maric is there, Jim is there as well, Radovan again, we have Agron, we have Rocco Marella, they are all in the chat and that makes me super happy, together with George Chenuda Ehrenman, but also with Chelsea lineup. Who is Chelsea? No. I don't know the name. EA. Chelsea lineup could win the Champions League. Yes, but they have to win it on the field. I know that they are playing today. I'm not watching the game at all. We have a member before starting the press conference, and it is Ali Fahad. Ciao, Ali Fahad. Thank you for becoming a member right before Max Allegri on the microphones of Juventus channel, because you can watch it in Italian right now on Juventus TV. I will do headphones on, translating live. Why am I doing it? Because I try at least to translate as fast as possible from the real language so that we can really speak about the real words that has been said, not something that is partially taken out of context. Like today, we saw a lot of things. Attenzione, because Max is there. While I will translate, of course, I will not interact that much. We will interact after it. So let me put the sound on. Welcome to Max Allegri before Juventus Fiorentina. Ciao to Abai, ciao to Vilspan. We start with the first question that is always from Juventus TV. Enrico Zambruno. How many certainties gave the games Lazio and Salernitana before the game of tomorrow? Max is saying that they gave us 2 victories, one important in Coppa Italia because it gave us the access to the final, to the semi-final, and the other one's coming back to the victory in Serie A after 3 games where we did only 1 point. Tomorrow is a different game, a difficult game, versus a Fiorentina that is pressing really high, so we will have to have a lot of patience and a lot of organization for Juventus. Second question from Giovanni Albanese. Rabiot resting tomorrow is the question. And more important also, is Rabiot a bet that Allegri won? The answers. It's not a bet that I won. It's a player that reached 27 years and found maturity, as it happened a lot of time with a lot of players. Because usually they reach the maturity between the 27th and 30th year. These are the 4 years where players peak. They are at the peak of their career. Not all of them, but the majority of them. But tomorrow, Rabiot plays. So we have the first information. Rabiot plays tomorrow. Third question. After the loss of Napoli, there was the rebuild physically and mentally of Juventus. Are you satisfied, at least until today, of what Juventus is doing? Answer of Allegri. I repeat, in this moment we have to focus on what are the minimal objectives in Serie A, that are to reach the teams that are above us, that have 29 points, that are Udinese and I don't know who. And then we have to start Europa League step by step. Unfortunately, we can't do anything else. What about the work of the team? The team is doing a beautiful work, a good work. Of course, we have to be becoming better. We have to do better during the game. Because in the last 30 minutes of Salernitano, I really didn't like what we did. On the other hand, we did really great 60 minutes. But tomorrow, there will be a better performance to beat Fiorentina. So he's also making the difference between Salernitana and Fiorentina. Fourth question. What about Danilo? 21 games this season. 20 he played entirely. Only one game he played a part of it. I'm asking, why are you always playing Danilo? Is also him needing of some rest? Why is he the only player that is never rotating? Answer of Allegri. The stats are saying that he's doing well. And if he's doing well, he plays. It's a player that is able to manage himself really good. But I'm saying that he's becoming more and more an important player for Juventus. Fifth question, Agresti. Is there a chance to see the trio up front? Vlahovic, Chiesa, and Vlahovic. Max is saying, this morning we did a training. I don't know yet. Tomorrow I will decide who will play. Because then in midweek we have another game. They can play together, certainly. But for tomorrow, I don't know if it will be the right game to do it. I will have to decide tomorrow morning. Guys. Sixth question. Team looks a bit more aggressive in the last games. Was it intentionally? Is Juventus changing a bit? Max is saying that no, we are not changing. We have to becoming better playing vertically, also diagonal with the in the diagonal one. We have to become better in playing these offensive things. But the team is doing well. But we are still far of our potential. We have to becoming better. But all the ones that are at disposal are doing well. There is a good harmony in the team. And we understand that if we want to have good results, we have to work, to do a lot of works. Obviously, respecting the opponent, something that we can't avoid. Because there were parts of games, versus, like example, the 30 minutes versus Salernitana, where we did not do well. Question, what about Pogba? How is he doing? Can he be called up? Max is saying no. Pogba can't be called up. It makes no sense for me to repeat it every single game. At the moment, Pogba is at the box. Pogba is not there. It's sad for me to say it, but unfortunately, this is the reality. He is working to come back at disposal of the team, but at the moment, he is not there. And I repeat, I can't tell you at the moment when he can be back. I'm sad about it. I'm disappointed about it. But I can't tell you. Maybe in 1 week. No, not in 1 week, but maybe in 20 days. We don't know. I am the first one that is waiting for him. We are all waiting for Pogba. We took him to becoming better with the team. But unfortunately, these things happen in football. So guys, my feeling about Pogba coming back. No. Question about Bonucci. Bonucci will be at disposal versus not. Not tomorrow, but versus not. Milik is doing better, but he will not be there. Caio Jorge, not yet. So, Pogba, Bonucci, Caio Jorge, and Milik are not at disposal. And it's an important recuperation versus not the one of Bonucci. Sergio Baldini from Tuttosport. Question. In this journey of small steps that Juventus is doing, is Juventus beating Fiorentina tomorrow something that can reapproach Juventus to a bit better objectives than the one of saving themselves, looking at the ranking today? Max Allegri. We have to watch at the ones that are before us, up front of us in the ranking, that are 7th or 8th or whatever. I believe that the 8th one is Torino with 30 points. I'm not sure. We are 10th with Monza with 26 points. So we are there. We have to do one step at a time to try to reach the one that are in front of us. Radio Bianconera. Question. To support the trio up front, would you need to change tactical formation? Max Allegri. It depends. We can play with 3 midfielders. We can play with 4 in the back. We can play with 3 in the back to play with the trio up front. But it's not about the trio up front. It's if we want to play, and they know it. I told them, if we all play together, we all have to support ourselves. We have to be available. The guys know it. Again, finding balance. Rai Sport question. A few weeks have passed since the minus 50 points announcements. How do you see the team at the moment now, after a few weeks of that sentence? Max is saying that the guys were quite good. There are parts, moments where, of course, as usual, you have to adapt. After the minus 15 points, after Napoli, was quite harsh. We had a reaction versus Atalanta. Then, of course, we dropped also mentally, what is normal. But now the team found a balance that we have to continue to play versus Fiorentina as well. Tomorrow we have to do well because Fiorentina is below us and they could potentially reach us. So we can't. We have to do better. We have to beat them tomorrow and to be good. Again, doing step by step. And after that, on Thursday, we have the Europa League with the first game versus Nantes on Thursday. So there are some games to play in the future. Last 2 questions. Question about Bremer. After the World Cup, Bremer dipped a bit in terms of performances. Answer of Allegri. No, Bremer, he did really well versus Cremonese. Not good versus Napoli, but he knows him as well. But ultimately, he did good games, as all the team did. But it's difficult to find a good one that performed well in the games that we played bad. If we are looking back at the games that we played bad, all the players did bad. Corriere dello Sport. Corriere dello Sport, guys, I will boycott the question of Corriere dello Sport. I will not translate the question of Corriere dello Sport. I stay silent about the question of Corriere dello Sport because I don't want to report their question and also not the answer. People saw what happened today with Corriere dello Sport, Corriere della Sera, Max Nerozzi reporting a leaked conversation, so I'm not taking part of that question. That was the last question. Max Allegri is leaving now. Thank you to Max for the answer that he gave to us. Grazie, Max. I will press pause here. I will take away the volume here we go. We are back on track, my friends. Ciao, Juventini of the world. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the press conference that I translated live, of course, making some mistakes in some pronunciations. I couldn't say the diagonale in English. I don't know why. So it was a word that still is not in my head. But we translated, we said a lot of things, especially about injuries, the ones that we're expecting maybe to see a surprise about returning players like I was, because I had a feeling that potentially Paul Pogba could come back. No, he's not there, but I anticipated that I would absolutely not do any drama if this was not the case. What is certain about Paul Pogba is that he's injured, and it makes no sense to repeating every single week that we are pissed off about Paul Pogba because he's not there. These are the expectations that we are putting ourselves as fans because we want him to see as soon as possible on the field. Confirmed another time by Max Allegri, he is at the box momentarily, he is training to come back, he is frustrated, Juventini are frustrated, we are disappointed that he is not there, but he will not be at disposal tomorrow, he will not be there next week neither, so we can already forget his call up, he being there versus not in Europa League. So it has already been anticipating. So don't start creating drama next Wednesday when we will know that he will not be there with the team versus not. He will not be there. We know that. So Paul Pogba not there, Bonucci not there, but he will be there in Europa League versus not, which is a great news, an important one to recuperate. Then he spoke about the possibility to see the trio up front. He looked a bit pessimistic about seeing them already tomorrow together. That doesn't mean that we will never see Vlahovic, Di Maria and Federico Chiesa together, but at the moment, you know, he spoke about having and finding a balance, because if you play with the three of them, you can play in different ways. With three at the back, what does that mean? 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, whatever. You can play with a 4 at the back, what means 4-3-3. The most important things, whatever way of playing, whatever formation that you are putting on the field, the most important thing, of course, is that the team is able to support themselves. Yesterday I was writing on Twitter that at the moment I was not sure if we were able to see them, because if you play that way, that means that you have 100% physically recuperated players. Can we say that Vlahovic, Di Maria and Chiesa are 100% physically recuperated to also help support the team defensively? Not sure. Then tomorrow can happen that we see them for a part of the game together, maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes, maybe even starting, we don't know, it can be a big surprise, maybe it's a strategy, but it's a bit difficult. So these are the big topics that Max Allegri spoke about in the press conference. Trio up front, deciding tomorrow, Bonucci, Pogba, Caio Jorge and Milik are not there for tomorrow. What else did he spoke about during that press conference? I translated everything, but now that we have to pay attention also tomorrow, that we are playing better, yes, but it's not over. Also, in the game, we have to be good for 90 minutes. Bremer is doing well, had a moment of difficulty. We know it, we saw it versus Napoli is back. Okay, question, guys. How are your feelings about that press conference? What did you take out of it? What are your questions about what Max said? I was also watching his facial expression. I believe that's really an important part, watching the facial expression of the one that is speaking, because sometimes the facial expression is saying more than any words that is used. Ciao to all the people that joined in the meanwhile. Ciao to Mikel Arteta, New York Juventino. Great coverage, Bebe. Thanks a lot. No, thanks to you. Ciao, George. Rabiot is always playing beast. Okay. This is also something that is important. Tomorrow, Rabiot will play. There were some question marks about him being 100% ready to play tomorrow. We know that on Tuesday, if I'm not wrong, Tuesday or Wednesday, he trained separately in the gym, and there were some doubts about him being available to play tomorrow, if it was not Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember what day it was, maybe Wednesday. Anyway, he will not take part of the team that will stay at home. He will be there with the team and he will play. It's actually the only name that has been confirmed by Max Allegri. What does that mean? That we continue to play with 3 men. These 3 men in the midfield can play in a 3-5-2, but also we can continue, as we did versus Salernitana, 3-4-2-1. With Nicolo Fagioli that is playing a bit more up front. What is the problem at the moment with Miretti being out is that if you play the 3 of them, Fagioli, Rabiot and Locatelli, you have nobody anymore on the bench. The question about Paredes if he was there or not was not asked, but when he was saying that the player, who the players were that were absent, we can understand that Paredes will be called up. I don't believe that Paredes will start the game, but he will probably be next to probably Barrenechea, the only midfielders at disposal on the bench. So 2 Argentinian midfielders there on the bench, or we go to 2-man midfield, but I'm not sure. I go with a 3-4-2-1 tomorrow. A bit later, in a few minutes, we'll try to understand. Opa, let me put myself in the middle. We'll try to understand also visually with the tactical board how we can potentially play tomorrow from the information that we receive from Max Allegri. GTA 3-4-3 tomorrow will be the best formation. We have Mikey Mazzarese, 13 months with us on the member of the channel. Grande. You know it, 1 month, like Ali a bit earlier, is a pleasure, is a honor. 13 months is fantastic because that means that not only for 1 month, but in the continuity, you continue to trust the channel. Beautiful. Mikey Mazzarese is saying in his message, Beppe, good morning. Great job covering the press conference. I had such high hope for Pogba this year as a leader off and on the field. Well, no, of course, it's annoying because he's not able to be on the field, 0 minutes. And also off the field, he can't be the leader because a virtual leader is difficult to have, especially if he's not always training with the team and so on. You know, it start to look ridiculous if from the outside he's motivating and he's not able to support. So he took a step back. I believe that's the right choice in terms of leadership, but it's an annoying part. I totally agree with your message. Big hopes, and he will not be there. Not today, not versus not. We'll have to wait a bit more. Is it frustrating? Yes. Is it annoying? Absolutely yes. Let me continue with your questions, guys. How did he look, Beppe? Well, speaking about the 3 men up front, his face was more towards the negative than the positive tomorrow, at least. But it's something that is there in his mind. I believe that we will see the 3 up front from the moment that we have a bit more certainties physically about these players, if they also are able to give the support for longer in the game. Because, you know, if you play with a Chiesa and with a Di Maria, and you're also asking them in a 3-4-3 or 4-3-3 to ask them to come and to cover even more spaces, well, you are taking them away that brilliance, that big spot actually, or that energy offensively that we need. And also you are stai privando, you are actually cutting in your finger because you don't have these qualities also in the bench that can enter and give new more power up front. And we are speaking about 2 world-class players. What do we know about Kulusevski possibly returning? Nothing. Tottenham has the option to buy him, obligation if they reach Champions League, but at the moment there are no certainties there. Obligation if they reach, otherwise they have the option, but it's a player that is quite well respected by Tottenham, so I don't see any problem there. Then if he comes back, he can or stay or we can sell him, but at the moment it's absolutely not a topic of now. But good question, because I know that 1 or 2 weeks ago there were the talks that Tottenham was thinking about it. While there was that big chaos around Antonio Conte possibly not renewing with Tottenham, and as he's one of the players that Antonio Conte was able to turn his season off, because at Juve he was not good, at Tottenham he became even really great and a brilliant player. That's why it was linked. Can we see Yildiz? Absolutely not. I spoke about that. Absolutely not. Intellectuals, leaders come naturally. We can't expect anyone to become one because of legacy. Danilos Grinta has brought him to that position now, especially after the moustache. The moustache is making the difference of Danilo. Absolutely yes. But I agree. You clearly see it. Bonucci, that is the real captain of the team officially, had also to take a step back because he's not able to bring it on the field day by day. So you take a step back, and the one that is taking that role, not only with the armband, becoming the vice captain over Cuadrado, over Alexandro, that you remember in terms of hierarchy and appearances on the field probably have the right to have that that armband. Well, leadership came naturally, and he was pushed also by the players there on the field that said we need a real leader, vocal leader, but also in terms of behavior, and one that is there with us on the field, which is Danilo. Pogba, impossible. So I totally agree with Intellectuals. GTA, Pogba should be back in Europa League game. No, that's not what has been said today. Maybe he could be back for the return game of Europa League versus Nantes, but as absolutely not versus Nantes. He said it clearly, not tomorrow, maybe next week, and then he changed immediately his narrative because he said something and then he changed it, saying no, also not next week. So what is next week? We can go towards it. Let's go to the games that we have. I am not here to predict the return of Pogba because nobody is able to do it, but at least we can try to check the games that he will not be there. So if we go to the games, let me open them. Here we go. These are the games, not versus Chelsea, of course. But Fiorentina will not be there. He said also not next week. What is next week? Next week starts, if we are taking the European calendar, that means from Monday to Sunday, the 13th until the 19th. Juventus is playing the 16th versus Nantes and the 19th 4 days later versus Spezia, while we play the next game versus Nantes on the 23rd. So if he said clearly we will not have Pogba this week or next week, so that means that he will not be there versus Fiorentina, not be there versus Nantes, probably not be there versus Spezia, except of miracles because it's really the end. It's the Sunday 19th. Can we have possibilities to see him on the 23rd versus Nantes? It can be. Possibly. Rob, not only one, but not only two, not only five, not only six, not only seven, but 8 months. Mamma mia. 8 months membership of the channel. Thank you, Rob. Beppe is the message. Thank you, Rob. Really, really appreciate it, Rob. I will continue the discussion on Twitter after the live a bit later today. So, because I started the discussion, I didn't finish it because I was preparing other things. Thank you to Rob. Helicopter. The problem for Pogba is that he keeps postponing his comeback, which is frustrating for a lot of supporters. There is 100%. No, let's say 99% of what you wrote is correct, Helicopter. The only thing that is not correct here is that you said the problem for Pogba is that... No, you're correct. You're correct. No, partially. You say the problem for Pogba is they keep postponing his comeback. Well, if we analyze that sentence, that is quite correct, is frustrating for a lot of supporters, for all the supporters, who is keeping postponing the comeback of Pogba. Because if you are listening to Max Allegri, today I translated word by word what he said. Is it the media? Is it we on the channel with some beautiful thumbnail? I did them as well. Pogba is back versus Monza. Today I started with I have the feeling that he will be there, but I said I have no certainties. It's just a feeling. Is it our expectation from the fans? Because if you are looking at Juventus communication about Paul Pogba, since the beginning has been said, no, guys, we don't know when he will be back. We don't know. When he will be back, we will tell you. But at the moment, we don't know. He trained in pre-warm-up versus Monza. These are things that people do not know, but it was in that pre-warm-up versus Monza that Pogba felt something. Not a new injury, but he felt something. And that's why when there was the 5th change, you remember when Vlahovic was about to come in and we knew that it was over for Pogba, the cameras went on the face of Pogba that looked really disappointed, but it was really being conscious that for him he couldn't enter, unfortunately, that game, because during the pre-warm-up he said also to the staff, I felt something. That's reported by people that were at the stadium on that day versus Monza and not whatever. So that's important. Unfortunately, he felt something, not a new injury, but the one that he felt something at the knee. It is what it is. So I agree partially with what has been said by Helicopter. Then if we are expecting every single day that he will come back, we will get even more and more frustrated. Beppe, who's Francesco Calvo, the replacement of Cherubini? No, there is no real replacement of Cherubini because Cherubini has not been sacked. He's not able to do mercato, has been The Mercato task has been taken away. He can't represent Juventus anymore in terms of microphones or in formal institutions at the moment. Inhibition for Federico Cherubini. Calvo is someone that worked for us in the past. He worked for us in the past. CFO, then he went away. He went to Barcelona, he went to other clubs, he did great. Wherever he was, he did really, really great, a smart man. Now you can, not entirely, but you can compare it a bit with the figure at the moment of Beppe Marotta. A bit. He's someone that I have a lot of trust in. I have a lot of trust. I mean, if you're looking at his CV, if you're looking at the knowledge he has from inside of Juve, from the past and also the present, he's someone with a lot of qualifications, sometimes with a lot of skills, a really smart man. You can compare it a bit to the Beppe Marotta at the moment. He's also the one that will probably also in the future Mercato, if Juventus has the possibility to do it, to take the role of probably signing contracts and so on and so on. So at the moment we are reworking. From the moment that all these investigations are done and we have a clear view, we will rework the sporting view. But Calvo is an important figure there. But it's not the replacement of Cherubini. It's not a sporting director. That's important. You remember when Beppe Marotta was there, you had Beppe Marotta, and under him you had Fabio Paratici. Fabio Paratici was sporting director. Then Beppe Marotta's position was cancelled and they were working in a different way, with Fabio Paratici being actually both role. He was the Beppe Marotta and the Fabio Paratici. In this case, this is not the case. You have Calvo that is up, and Manna from the youth sector is giving some support at the moment until Federico Cherubini will take back his role. Great morning, Andre Fas, grande from USA. Don Simon, can we see a new name from the youth in the midfield the next game? I believe that in terms of numbers, Barrenechea could be the next in-line player to be on the bench. He already received some trust versus Paris Saint-Germain. He has been called up a few games for Juventus, received trust during some friendlies. I don't remember which game he played or not, but I remember him versus Arsenal, where he didn't do well. He played the three of them. Arsenal, he didn't do well. The two other games, he played really, really well. Barrenechea could be a player that is next in line in the midfield, at least to have some options in the midfield, on the bench. I feel withdrawal vibes tomorrow. Maybe. Good morning to Dave. Ciao, grande. Bot leader. Bayern Munich is OP. Okay. Muhammad Juventus. AC Milan is still waiting on Ibra. They are waiting, indeed. Bold prediction for me. Both Chiesa and Vlahovic will score tomorrow. Could be. I go, if you want my bold prediction. Bold. Actually, it's an easy prediction. Tomorrow, Cuadrado scores. I don't know when. I don't know how, but I even know how. Tomorrow he will score. Our friend Juan Panita Cuadrado. Attenzione. If Pogba was back earlier, maybe we wouldn't have unlocked the skills of Fagioli to who he's becoming now for the team. Silver linings all the time. But you have always positives and negatives in every part of the story. Indeed, because we know it, Rabiot and Pogba would have been the starters of the game, probably with a Paredes, and if he was not performing, because you never know how Paredes would have worked with Pogba and Rabiot, but probably then with a Locatelli, one of them, Paredes and Locatelli, would have been also the first in rotational players with a bit less chances for Fagioli. Now, because of necessity, Fagioli is on the teams. When we had to pull out of the team one player and cash in, we decided to do it for Weston McKennie because of the opportunity that Fagioli had to play. So indeed, it's a way of looking at things. Nevertheless, I would have loved to have Pogba in the team, I tell you the truth. Thank you to Mikey Mazzarese with a fantastic donation. Grande Mikey! Let me check if people, they are only enjoying and vibing with the live translation and the debrief of the live, or if they are also putting some likes. The likes, guys. Not fantastic, only 66, and I don't like the number 66, so I'm asking for at least one of you to put one like. Guys, when you see 66, guys, we have already a lot of problems. Do we want to create other negative vibes? No, we can't. Okay, now we have 67. 67 is better. 70. Grande. Mike is saying, Beppe, would you play Pogba if healthy? Could he manage the mentality of the players in a bad way, especially if they are playing well without him? It's a good question. For me, personally, if healthy, there is zero, but that's my opinion, there is zero doubt about starting Pogba. Again, if healthy, zero doubt about playing Pogba. Guys, this is your biggest investment in terms of big name that you brought to the team. If Di Maria is another one that you invested a lot in terms of name, maturity, leadership, you know that Di Maria is a player that is there for 1 year. Maybe tomorrow he will change his mind and will stay 1 more year, but Di Maria is not there to stay long. Pogba, when you decide to bring back Pogba, you bring back Pogba for a long term, for 3 years, for 4 years, maybe even more. This is why you bring in Paul Pogba. You give him the most salary to Paul Pogba because you believe in this man to change the face of your midfield and also the face of your team. So for me, there is zero doubt about Pogba plays. Then Pogba is not God on earth. If Pogba, after 1 game, 2 game, 3 game, 4 game, 5 games, is not performing, he goes on the bench. And he will show again in training session that he deserves to start again. As we did for Paredes, for example. Virtual Juve, we said it, Paredes is a starter of that Juventus. Paredes received chances, he was not playing well. He received 7.5 million a year. And he had the possibility to be redeemed as a Juve player in the future. He didn't prove anything, he sits on the bench. And this is for every single player. But yes, I believe he can change the mentality of the players. But in a positive way. In a bad way, I don't see why. Now, at the moment, we have Rabiot, Locatelli, and Fagioli that looks like they are playing well, but we never tested and we didn't had the opportunity to test Pogba. So no, for me, good question, but for me, it's absolutely out of any logic to think that Pogba is a negative for the team, for me. Beppe, I have read, thank you for the donation, Mikey, really appreciate it. And good question also, that makes us think. Beppe, I've read something, again, leaked the Prisma investigation, but I read only Arevabene's word about the not wanting to sign Chiesa. Can you maybe explain more on that? No, I will not do it. Why? I can give you the reason why I will not do it. Because, you know it, on the channel we speak about the few, because there are not a lot, but the few good things that are done by Juventus, the few good things that are said about Juventus, and we speak also about the bad things that are said about Juventus. You know that I have always been more positive, optimist, and corporate because this is the way I am as a person and this is how I want to lead my channel. But that doesn't mean that you can't speak about the bad things that happen at Juventus, like a 5-1 defeat versus Napoli, like the bad choice of not going for fullbacks. What I trying to do, my personal opinion, is when we are taking bad choices, I try to go to the origins of why we took that bad choice. Explaining the why doesn't excuse what happened. That's super important. It's not because you explain and you speak about it that it's good. If, for example, you sign Ramsey, there is a why you sign Ramsey. But that doesn't excuse that it's a stupid mistake. That is something that you should not have done. But there is a reason why you do it. Okay? Now, I fight since always against brain manipulation and how the media is treating Juve really badly, but really badly. In the last days, we tried and we saw a unity of Juventini all around the globe. We saw beautiful messages from the JOFC online. We saw papers that were bought, or at least spaces on papers that were bought by Juventini, saying giù le mani della Juventus, keep your hands away from Juventus. We saw initiatives of Juventini that went back to show the real face of the people that are judging us, prosecutors, judges, and so on, that are wearing t-shirts with Juve Merda that are wearing t-shirts with Chi non salta e bianconero. We saw people saying how much they publicly in official roles saying how much they hated Juve. These things were not reported that much by some channels that should report things, that should defend Juventus a bit more. I'm speaking about Juve channels, not on YouTube. I'm speaking about Twitter, the Twitter world. I didn't see a lot of push. I saw a lot of... but today, what do I see? That the answer from some media is to, again, put bad lights from Juventus. They see that they are crumbling. Thanks to the work of a lot of Juventini, they see that they are crumbling a bit. You clearly see it. They have some difficulties now to show that Juventus has been guilty, to show that indeed they were judged by people that hated Juve. I'm not saying that Juventus is guilty or not. I'm saying that they have difficulties to defend their position and to show that they were objective while judging Juve. So what they are trying now is to demolish Juventus from the inside with this kind of disgusting leak call. I think it's really bad what they are doing. And what is more bad is some Juventini that are translating only what they want to translate to show their agenda, to push their agenda. You can find these translated, reported, leaked calls that for me are just disgusting. Speaking about Chiesa one day before his return to Fiorentina, while Allegri said we found harmony, trying to break that harmony from inside. And if we Juventini are helping, supporting these kind of things, we are doing really, really bad. Really bad, and we are absolutely not defending our team. It's a topic I don't want to speak a lot about because I don't want to help the people that are against Juventus. Now I'm really pissed off. I'm really upset. I'm really upset about some so-called Juventini that are working for own agendas, for likes, for targeting hate towards the coach, targeting hates against the team. This is something I'm really, really, really upset about. Because all the work I do, or I try to do, to explain, not to defend, to explain, is crushed by manipulated news against... You can love or hate the coach whatever you want, You can love or hate the coach whatever you want, but there are some moments where you have to defend your team. Seeing what people are doing and not helping them to spread hate message towards your own team. This is what I wanted to say. I will stop with it. Ciao Stavros, Mohamed, 100% Beppe, on tire pas sur une ambulance. We don't shoot on an ambulance. Beautiful one. Ciao Cecilia, how are you? What about our beloved Juventus? Well, I translated all the press conference in the beginning for the people that are a bit late. Watch it, because you will have one-on-one the words without going with the words that I want to translate to defend Allegri, or I want to translate to put Allegri in a bad light. It was one-on-one, without the time to reflect, because when I was listening, I was translating. So you have the exact words of Max Allegri in that press conference without any manipulation. Then you can do your own opinion about it, because that's important. Listen and do your own opinion. What I saw online today was really, really, really disgusting. Again, another time, really disgusting. What other question do you have? Let me check your question. In the meanwhile, that you are asking your questions, my friends, I will show you the possible lineup of tomorrow, at least with what we know as information from Max Allegri. So, up. That is the tactical board that I really love, and continue to put some messages. Mikey, I have to say that I am excited about Frattesi possibly coming back to Juve. But coming to Juve next season. We don't know at the moment, because if we go with Gazzetta dello Sport, McAllister would have worn the number 8 at Juventus this season already, scoring 5 goals and being the best midfielder of Juventus, because he already said yes. So if we trust Gazzetta dello Sport, I don't know. That doesn't mean that they don't have good information. And sometimes they have good, but there is always the doubt, and not be too excited about it, even if we know it. Faratesi has always been a player under observation of Juventus. So if we go towards tomorrow, this is not the lineup, of course. We have to take away some players here. Attenzione, because we have Irv595 that just joined. We have to take some players. We have to add other players. One of the players that we add is Adrien Rabiot in that lineup. Josh as well. John is here as well. Grande, John is here. I like that. I really like that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me check how much Juventini we are on the channel at the moment. Let me check that, because that's a good one. 23,727. We started the live with 720. We have 23,727. 7 new more Juventini. This is thanks to the likes that you are putting, because more likes, more the video is shared. So don't forget, we have 94, at least going to 100. We continue with the possible lineups of tomorrow. Szczesny in the goal, that's a certainty. Bremer will play. I believe that Danilo will play next to Alexandro. These are the ones that are giving some security, some solidity to the defense of Juve at the moment. We continue to play with 3. Fagioli is there. Locatelli is there. Rabiot is there. So we can potentially play, I believe we can potentially play in that way. Kostic is back in form. Kostic will play. Vlahovic will play. I have questions here. I am not sure. Let me check. Let me check first. Cuadrado will play tomorrow. I believe we can go with this. I believe tomorrow we can go with this. Oh, it's not moving anymore, guys. Now it's moving again. Tomorrow we can go with this. This is what I believe. Here, we will put it in the goal of Fiorentina, so that we start 1-0. This is how we start. Why? And in the meanwhile, write, guys, because I want to read your comments and what you think about it. We need one more to reach 100 likes. Guys. Szczesny in the goal, no doubt about it. Why? Because Szczesny is the player that is playing in Serie A. Perin is the one that is playing in Coppa Italia. There are no problem physically about the players. We spoke about Danilo in the press conference. That a question was there: is he always playing? Why is he never rotating? And so on and so on. Allegri said he's becoming more and more an important player for a team, a player that is able also, and he's really smart, to manage himself, and that's why he's always available. The stats are saying that he's in a great form, so no doubts about Danilo. We played with that system towards Salernitana, but we will have to do much better. He didn't look that convinced about the 3 men playing together. Di Maria, if we go back to the game versus Salernitana results, who started in that game? It's more or less the same. More or less the same. Let me show you. We had 3-5. They were showing a 3-5-2, even if we know that Miretti was a bit more front until he was injured and Fagioli came in. So De Sciglio was playing on the right. Why am I not putting De Sciglio? Because Cuadrado rested especially for that. That's why Cuadrado will start the game tomorrow. Cuadrado starts instead of De Sciglio. Kostic stays, the 3 midfielders. The base stays with Fagioli a bit more up front. Di Maria played. Now it will be the turn of Federico Chiesa. Di Maria will rest. He played 62 minutes. He will probably enter in second half. This is what I believe can and will happen tomorrow. With the men that we have at disposal, who will be on the bench tomorrow? Paredes and Barrenechea for the midfield. We have Rugani and Gatti on the bench for the defense. We have Ealing on the left side. We have De Sciglio for the right side. We have up front Di Maria and Moiskin that are ready to start the game. 3 ex-Fiorentina players like Chiesa, Vlahovic and Cuadrado. Cuadrado is always able to scare Fiorentina, always playing really well. That can be the lineup. What do you think about that lineup? Mike is not mad about my formation. Yeah, but it's not my formation. It's not what I'm telling you. It's not my preference. It's the one that I think that will play tomorrow. Why? Because from the words of Allegri, Pogba is not there. Bonucci is not there. Danilo is the most informed man. He's always playing. Rabiot will play 100%. Then if you want to, you can do like that, guys. If you prefer, it doesn't change a lot. It's just a way of putting men on the field, but you can go with that. It's the same. It's a 3-5-2 or a 3-5-1 or whatever. I line them up like this. Why? Because this is what we saw in a lot of parts of the game versus Salernitana. The important thing will not be the formation or whatever. It's that we are able to not do this tomorrow. This is what we can't do, because if we do that, we are showing again the Monza effect and the start, the 5 first minutes versus Lazio in Coppa Italia. This is something we can't do. So to push more up, we need a trio solidity in defense. We need also players that are physically strong and able to change their position, with one of the midfielders that is able to give some support to be a link. When we are playing 3-5-1-1, there is only one player, and then you have an isolated player here. So one of our mission is not to isolate Vlahovic, but also to go there. This is the lineup that I believe that tomorrow can and will play. Then I can be wrong, of course. I can be wrong. So we have the message from Mikey that is not mad about my formation, but I want to read also other opinion, guys. Really like that having Di Maria as a super sub, but we lack numbers in the midfield. The one change I would do is try Rugani. Can be Rugani can potentially play. If you play Rugani, guys, or even Gatti, if you want to, Rugani is more a center one. If you want to play, probably you play with Danilo here and Federico Gatti here, with Alexandro on the bench. Can be a variation of it. Can be Chiesa, Vlahovic, and Di Maria in Europa League. Can be versus Nantes, where you are playing more open, where you are playing a total different way of playing. Hey, Sir is saying perfect. Let's win. Ciao, Apex. Let's get for the win. The lineup is looking good. Hash88. Ciao, Bep. In your opinion, how can we win against Viola, considering their skills and tactics, as we are still not in a top form regardless of the 2 last results? Well, how I believe we can win versus Fiorentina is, again, not doing this. If you are doing this, because that's easy, and probably with an additional here, Regista tomorrow. If you're doing this, you're wasting Vlahovic, you're isolating him too much, you are asking Chiesa to become an extra midfielder, because this is what happens, to receive the ball and trying something. Probably you are even do like this, you even do like this with Federico Chiesa asking for that ball, and you have problems, because if you do that, you are just giving Fiorentina the right to go and to play, and this is absolutely a mistake. If you are going towards Fiorentina, how are they playing in their last games? What do we see? That they are playing they are playing Fiorentina with a 4-3-3. Can we put a random formation? I have the one of Napoli. Anyway, let's put the name of Napoli, but it will not be, of course, the players of Napoli. But let's play a 4-3-3 randomly, okay? 4-3-3. How many men do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we put 4 men here. 4, 3, and there was one player too much. You see, there was one player too much. I put them randomly here. 4, 3, 3. With our players, I have to do something because the players are too much bigger. Okay, so if you are playing with a 4-3-3 from them, I believe this is way too much. In defending like this is way too much. Defending Fiorentina like that is way too much. They have a lot of possession, so that's something that we can't allow ourselves. We have to play higher, I believe, because if you are playing already higher with a Fagioli here, with a Chiesa, That's what we have to do. And immediately finding Federico Chiesa and Vlahovic and Fagioli up front. Changing side with Locatelli, or opening for Cuadrado, or opening for Kostic immediately. That's what we have to do. And of course, when we have to defend, you can sometimes defend with Cuadrado and Kostic coming back, or you can defend easily, super easily when needed, with a simple move with Locatelli coming back. That's what you can do. How would you describe Fagioli as a player? What does he bring to the team when he plays? Well, Fagioli is a upcoming great player that waited all his life to come at Juventus and to play with first team. He started really young at Juventus, so we can call it a player with Juventinità inside that understand what it is and what it means to represent the black and white colors. That's one thing. A player that will never look at himself on the field and never put himself up front of Juventus, because he knows what an institution is, and that's a player that you can expect also to have that extra that he wants to put on the field, whatever way we are playing, good or bad or whatever. He wants to go for the extra mile. It's a player that, according to me, has the ability to play different positions in that midfield, regardless as it's on the left or the right side of the field, regardless if it's with a 2-man or 3-man defense. He can play different position. He has a really beautiful shot from the distance. He can go with power, he can go with finesse, he can go with curvy balls. He has techniques, he has vision, he has skills. It's not the biggest dribbler, but he knows how to find spaces between the lines, and that's great. I don't see him as a real offensive player. He's not trequartista. It's a player that can play, between the number 10 in the old styles, number 10, between the number 10 and between the midfielders. Between that, that's an important part of the field where you see that when he's playing, he's offering solution between the lines. He always knows what is happening before, but he has to pay attention to sometimes to not be too confident and to stay focused also in what he's doing, because sometimes he's going with dangerous sloppy back passes that we saw Bentancur doing in some difficult situation. So remaining inside the game for 90 minutes and not disappear for some moments. It's a player that needs to grow with his headers, of course. This is something that he has to do better, improve in headers, or when he's going in duel or going in front of the goal. This is something that he can do better. Chiesa and Fagioli can support Vlahovic. Yes. Buongiorno, Daniel Perrone. How is everyone doing? I'm doing good. I was upset this morning, but I'm doing better. 3-man defense. Yeah, we will continue with the 3-man defense, Cecilia. I don't see why we should change towards a 4 that we never played with, except of the beginning of the season when we were playing with a 4-man defense. We were not doing that great. Especially because we know Alexandro as a left back has difficulties. Then there is an option that has been spoke about. I was not 100% sure about it. Let's take away these blue players that when I see them, I don't like them. So let's take them away. I will show you another option that has been talked about from Juve side. I will show you. One of the options that has been talked about to go towards that 4-man defense is this one. But probably with this way of playing, or eventually even with Bonucci on the bench, Danilo here, Cuadrado a bit back, and then you have a possible 4. Sorry. Where is Di Maria? Look, this is a really beautiful lineup. I know that it's a really beautiful lineup, a lineup that all of us wants to see. The problem with that at the moment is that Kostic is not yet ready to be 100% considered as a left back. Can potentially grow into that position. We know that Cuadrado has never been really seen as a right back from Max Allegri. That's what we know. but could potentially be a solution. No, not even. I will make you angry, but probably this is a more balanced one because De Sciglio is going a bit less up, especially if we know that the Rabiot can support a Locatelli and Fagioli can be a bit more up in that 4-3-3. So you see, there is this possibility that can offer to you. Look at the difference of position between the three midfielders, but in order to do so, you need a support from your two offensive players here, with Chiesa being able to drop down, and that's why I put De Sciglio instead of Cuadrado. Why? Because if you put De Sciglio, it's a player that will not go that much up. He will play security, protected also by a Danilo, and Di Maria is a player that is not dropping down that much, you see, but you need a 100% informed Chiesa. And being able to play more than 60 minutes, both of them, because at the moment they are not ready. So I know that this is a really beautiful lineup that you would love to see. A possibility to play with a 3-man up front, but at the moment a bit more difficult to play. Only on FIFA this can be, but you can, let's imagine that you are playing on FIFA and you know that you are playing every 2 days when the energy levels is really low, really low, and that you know that these players will not be able to play them. 4-4-2 in defense then. Ciao my Freddy. If you are playing with 4-4-2 in defense, you are going towards this, but then you are creating yourself, I believe, even more problems. Why? Because you go with a Cuadrado that will probably be here, with a 2-man that can be Rabiot and Locatelli or whatever you want to, and then you have probably Alexandro here, Kostic here, and you have yes, but the problem here, if doing so, is that you're not offering an answer to the people that wants Chiesa, Di Maria and Vlahovic together. That's one of the problems of doing so. But it can be, Ciao Juventino MC. There is a saying that the best offense is the defense and the best defense is the offense. It's true. Punsara, we should give Perin a chance. Why? Why, guys? Why trying to find problems where there are no problems? Perin is a goalkeeper for the Coppa Italia, and when Szczesny needs a rest. Guys, if there are no problems there, I don't understand why I would create them. Then if you are telling me Perin was fantastic versus Lazio, grazie al cazzo. This is a way of saying, this is an Italian way of saying grazie al cazzo. What does that mean? Nobody was shooting on target from Lazio, so yeah. But Perin is a good goalkeeper. Huh? Let's put that aside. We are lucky. It's a luxury problem to have a second goalkeeper as strong as Perin. Daniele Perone, we already read it. You're not really active with your questions, guys, today. No. So we spoke about the lineups. We spoke about the press conference of Max Allegri. We spoke about Pogba. We spoke about a lot of things. Yes, Veritas, Rabiot is available and he will play. The only man that has been confirmed as a starter by Max Allegri. So if you have no other question, 1 hour, fantastic. I believe we can close. We reached 113 likes, which is nice. I wanted to do a video this morning. No, you know what? You know what we can do? We can do one thing. We can potentially fast go towards the front pages. La Juve fa bene a Comiso. Juventus is doing well to Comiso and to Fiorentina, of course. Wait, and let me put the pages as they should be put, as one page so that you have bigger to understand what they are saying about our beloved Juventus. I need to start it again, because when you are waiting too long with Tuttosport, then this problem happens. Wait, So, one page only. Here we go. La Juve fa bene a Comiso. Juventus is doing well to Comiso, of course, because we are paying him all these players. So it makes totally sense. That was the first page. They are speaking about the 1-0 that Torino lost versus Milan yesterday that I didn't watch. Milan is there. Continue like that. Ok. A dopo un così merita il rinnovo. They're speaking about Torino. A lot of Torino. Here they are speaking about why Comiso needs to be a bit more respectful to Juve. Da Chiesa e Dusan 140 milioni, 140 million from Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic. Okay, we know that story. I don't want to go too much. Vlahovic is back and is ready to answer to the whistles and to the accusation, especially from Fiorentina supporters that were speaking really bad about him. Also, their negativity thrown by Comiso. Look at that. How Juventus was reinforcing Serie A. Higuain 90 million to Napoli, Vlahovic 80 million to Fiorentina, Chiesa 50 million, no? 60 million to Fiorentina, Bremer 50 million to Torino, 40 million to Palermo for Dybala, Bernardeschi 40 million to Fiorentina. Yes, a bit of more respect would be nice. 100 volte Danilo, tomorrow 100 games for Danilo with Juventus if he plays, and he will play, except of last minute problem. Chain Ballola Champions, Juventus is playing to qualify for the Champions League because we know it, we have problems. I was looking a bit earlier, we were also the game. We were winning 2-0 versus Fiorentina. I believe that we won. Can someone confirm me how much we did versus the women of Fiorentina? Here they're speaking about UEFA reports about the top clubs that are in debt with the banks, about European top clubs. Okay, Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking about Giroud. Wait, speaking about Giroud, speaking about La Signora Coppia, the tandem of tomorrow, Vlahovic and Chiesa. Can we go? Here, speaking about Giroud. I'm going really fast. The ratings of yesterday, of the game of yesterday, Inter, they want to go for Mazraoui, Çalhanoğlu. Ritorno al comando. They are going back on the field to dominate and to command. Vlahovic, Chiesa against Viola. And Max is preparing the Juve tridente. Vlahovic, Di Maria and Chiesa, that has been more or less denied by Max for tomorrow. We can see it in the future, but not tomorrow. Here we have Corvino, that was working with Fiorentina in the past. He said to Dusan, I will recommend to stay in Torino, even if they don't have the cups. I believe that's a really great tip. I like that. I really like that. And then about Napoli, I don't care about Napoli. Of course, I will not go through the pages and the words of Corriere dello Sport, Nerozzi, and so on and so on. 100 goals for Girelli. Did she score today? Yeah, she did. 3-0. Fantastic. Mohamed Youssef was already, Mohamed Juventus was already reporting, and Dave from Turin Giants was also reporting it. Grande. Comiso, you know what's funny? Comiso, a lot of people do not know that, but Comiso, the president of Fiorentina, is a Juve fan. He's a Juve fan. This is true, guys. I can certify you, he is a Juve fan. Or he was. Doing his own interest, and I spoke about it so many times. He's a smart guy. Yeah? You will never hear from me saying that Comiso is a stupid man. He's a smart guy. He knows how to being elevated and receive the support of his fans because he found the technique, the breach. When you speak bad about Juventus, you are loved by the anti-Juventini. And there are a lot of anti-Juventini. So, yeah, Comiso is smart. Huh? Bueno, ragazzi, buono. Bueno is in Spanish. Buono is in Italian. We did the papers. We did everything. I'm good. Last few questions, guys. Let's go. We have 3 more minutes. Don't launch me on long. Short questions. No, what did he say? He's always complaining about Juve, that Juve, they are a system, that they are doing, that Fiorentina is doing everything according to the rule, that Juve, there are robbery and accusation on Juve, blah, 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 blah. He's always putting dirt on Juve, whatever. But then when it's to take money from Juve, then everything is going well. Huh? I know it's off topic, but you know I am from Kansas City, and tomorrow the Kansas City Chiefs are playing in the Super Bowl, American football, which is very exciting for this city. Dai, Forza Kansas City tomorrow in the Super Bowl. Who's your Juventus Valentine? What is that question, Dave? What kind of question is that? I know that it's St. Valentine on the 14th, but what do you want me to answer to that question? Who I love? Or from this team, from ever, or a Juventino? I don't understand the question. Boop. I would love to answer, but I have no idea. Was it a good life? Thank you, Mohammed. I'm getting a jersey. Chiesa of Fagioli. You know what? Let's use these moments for helping Daniele Perrone to choose. Okay. Which player for Daniele Perrone shirt? Chiesa, the people will decide. Chiesa or Fagioli. Okay, we are 112. We go with at least 50 votes. We will try to do it from now on 3 minutes. So until 1 hour 14. Until 1 hour 14 of the live. So I'm monitoring. If we reach at least 50 votes, it's validated. Less than 50, it doesn't count. But we go to 1 hour 14. Vote now, guys, for Daniele Perrone. Who does he need to put on his shirt? Chiesa or Fagioli? At the moment, it's a big battle. Let's try to comment it. At the moment, we have 54% for Federico Chiesa, with Fagioli is there, battling at 47%. We still have a few time, but only 2 minutes and 8, 7, 6, 5 seconds to go for the final vote. Chiesa is taking the lead at the moment with 6 more delta points over Fagioli. Fagioli is trying to come back now because he's 45-55. Let's see if Nicolo Fagioli will be able to recuperate or not. It will be really important because your vote will decide who Daniele Perrone will choose, and Daniele Perrone will also show us via Instagram or Twitter or whatever, sending me a DM for the proof that you have decided it. We need one more vote to make the vote, the poll, decisive. We have 50 votes, so from now on until the end, so that means 90 seconds from now on, guys, the vote will be validated. It will be a correct vote because we have at the moment 52 votes. Chiesa, 52%, 51%. We have the remontada of Fagioli. Niccolò, the young boy from the youth academy that is taking maybe the lead. No, it's again Federico Chiesa that is taking the lead with 2 delta points over Fagioli. 52 for Federico Chiesa. The number 7, we have Fagioli that is coming back. Closer. 49% for Fagioli. Maybe we'll end having a draw. We have how many? We have 56 seconds to decide the votes, guys. It's now the moment. If you're on television, take your smartphone, take your iPad, take your smart pad, whatever you want to, because you need to help Daniele Perrone. In that day, it's more excited as Juve Monza. It was more excited as Juve Lazio. Today, we have the destiny of the shirt, of the money of Daniele Perrone here. Chiesa Fagioli, 50-50, attenzione, because we have 30 seconds from now on. 50-50. Fagioli is not giving up, but also Federico Chiesa is now for the very first time down. It is Fagioli that is taking the lead with 52%. Attenzione! We never could have imagined. Can you believe it? 51% for Fagioli, 64 votes. Your vote counts, and we have from now on 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8, 7, 6, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I stop the vote. With 66 votes, Fagioli won. 53% of the votes going to Fagioli. 46% of the votes going to Federico Chiesa. Daniele Perrone, Let me know where you are living. Daniele Perone, let me know where you are living. I want to know now where you are living. Daniele Perone. Let me know, Daniele Perone, where you are living. I want to know. I want to know. Daniele Perone, you need to tell me where you are living. Be active, Daniele, because if you're not there, we have a problem. Daniele Perone, where are you living? Fagioli it is, Virginia, USA. Daniele Perone, wait. Where are you what are you going for? Home, away, or third shirt? Daniele Perone, home, away, or third shirt? I want to know now. It's the moment to tell me. Home shirt. What is your size, Daniele Perone? What is your size, Daniele Perone? Medium is the size. Giocatori, Fagioli with the number 44. Let me check. Let me check. I need to check something, guys. Let me check. Wait. Wait. I need to check something. Wait. Okay, Daniele Perone. Daniele Perone. The shirt, I will contact me, please. Contact me, please. I need to check something about delivery. But if it's a fan version shirt that you want, not the authentic one, if it's the fan shirt that you want, it's for me. I paid. I paid for Daniele Perone. So it's my gift. It's my gift for Daniele Perone. Guys, it's on me. I was just double checking price and so on. It is for me. So my gift for Daniele Perone, the shirt with Fagioli, number 44, is for me. Daniele Perone, you contact me and we try to organize that out of nowhere. My gift for Daniele Perone. Daniele Perone, I need a confirmation that you are still here. Where is Daniele Perone? Where is Daniele Perone? ¿Dónde está? Daniele Perone, where are you? Guys, I'm already checking here. I'm already checking. I need to check what is best, because maybe I will check with someone from USA to avoid delivery, whatever, but we will get in contact. Where is Daniele Perone? Ah, Daniele Perone is there. He said, Beppe, thank you so much. You don't have to. Yeah, I do. Then this is my way of saying thank you randomly to one of the members for all the way that you are thanking me, becoming member. I'm not doing it every day because my wife will kick my ass and we will divorce. But instead of putting, shirts like subscribe to the channel and you will receive a shirt or whatever, I don't like that, doing things just to have more subscribers. I prefer, without any planification, to reward someone that is member of the chat. Okay, Daniele, can you please contact me, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, so that we can organize it. 44 for Daniele Perone. We go. Where is Daniele? Here we are. With that, I believe that we closed the live in the best possible way. Grande. Daniele, where will you contact me? Tell me the social media and then we stop. On which social media do we do it? And I hope you enjoyed that fight of shirt. That was an epic moment. Fagioli won. I would never have believed it. I was thinking Chiesa would. Tell me where you contact me so that I know and I can sleep tranquillo. A lot of hearts. I see people are great. That's better than criticizing Juve. Twitter, I need to start a new account. Thanks again. Hey, tell me, Tell me, Daniele. But you can also do it in DM on Instagram. That's easy. Easy DM on Instagram or via Telegram, whatever. Contact me. Ragazzi, grazie. Forza Daniele Perone. Forza Fagioli with the number 44. And thank you to you guys for always being there. I'm happy. Forza Juve. Tomorrow we win. Maybe probably tonight we do again another live. Ciao, ciao, ciao.